Hello, I'm Clanes, and this is a casual guide for casuals for getting yourself an exotic back piece called the Advanced Spinal Blades. Before I start this guide, here are some things to know for anyone curious about acquiring this back piece. If you want to skip this, I'll be putting in a timestamp somewhere if you want to just get to the crafting right away. First thing, I'm a super huge casual at this game. My professions are barely past 50, I'm on tier 1 of fractals, I only have 2 ascended pieces of gear, and I've never done a raid. That being said, if you want a decently easy way to get the armor, either because you like the look, don't have an exotic back piece yet, or you just want to start crafting this because you want to eventually get the ascended versions, then keep watching. The only thing you'll really need past a few materials that I'll be talking about shortly is gold. If you have a healthy amount, you'll be fine, and if you've been hoarding some crafting materials, your life will be a bit easier. If you're looking for a guide for the ascended versions, I'm afraid I don't have the profession requirements to craft them just yet. But if this video is received well enough and I get to the point where I need to be, I'll make a continuation video on this subject for acquiring the ascended version of the Spinal Blades. One last thing to note, all of this info is made available thanks to the Delphi website. I will be leaving links in the description with all the info I used to make this. Starting off, the absolute first thing you need to get started is a blade shard, a semi-rare item that you can find by either completing the not-so-secret jumping puzzle in the Broad Hollow Bluffs within the Gandharan Fields, an uncommon drop for defeating Aetherblade mobs, rarely from gathering a home node from the Sprocket Generator, a potential reward from any Nightmare Fractal Challenge Mode boss encounter, or from certain supply bags, with only the Memories of Scarlet box being made available some time ago in the gem store. You only need one to get yourself started. As long as you have one, you can combine them with the rest of the materials you need in the Mystic Forge within Lion's Arch. The rest of what you need can be found at the trading post. After finding a blade scrap, you'll want to buy the 4 Spinal Blade blueprint scraps. From there, you can put them into the Mystic Forge to create the blueprint you need as a reagent to create the first back piece. Second, you'll want to buy several Watchwork sprockets. This is where things will start to get pricey, as you'll need a lot of these to make the components you need. Third, you'll need a generous amount of both piles of glittering and shimmering dust. Most people who hoard crafting supplies should already have a healthy amount of these, but they aren't too expensive otherwise. Fourth, you'll need to grab 10 piles of radiant dusts and 50 iron ingots. From here, you can start the process of crafting the first stage of the Spinal Blades. Head up to the Mystic Forge and combine the 4 blueprint scraps with each other to create the plans for the blade spine. Here comes the more frustrating aspect. You'll need to start duplicating your blade shards by combining 50 Watchwork sprockets, 1 blade shard, 1 glittering dust, and 1 shimmering dust to start duplicating them. This is what the sprockets will be used for, as you need around 425 blade shards to upgrade the pack to exotic quality. And duplicating will randomly yield around 10 to 16 shards, with a small chance of 50 coming out. Once you have the shards, combine them with the blueprint, the 10 radiant dusts, and the 50 iron ingots to create your first pack. This is a blue quality item meant for level 20s. From there, you want to duplicate your blade shards until you have 50 of them. Head back to the trading post and buy 10 piles of luminous dust and 50 steel ingots. Combine them together with your Spinal Blade pack in order to create the Twin Spinal Blades, a green quality item backpack for level 40s. Duplicate your blade shards again until you have 100 of them. Head back to the trading post and buy 10 piles of incandescent dust and 50 mithril ingots. Then combine them together with your Twin Spinal Blades to create your Quad Spinal Blades, a yellow quality level 60 backpack. And one more final time, duplicate your blade shards until you have 250. Buy 25 piles of crystalline dust and 25 orichalcum ingots. Combine all these together to finally create your exotic quality level 80 backpack. And that's it, you've gotten your Advanced Spinal Blades. It's a relatively painless way to get yourself a neat looking exotic backpack in case you're trying to push your numbers for entry level endgame content. With the added benefit that the back piece is account bound, so you can set it to any alt you want with the caveat that it becomes soulbound on use. To work around this, every time you upgrade the back piece, it becomes account bound again, even if it was soulbound beforehand. But important to note is that you cannot upgrade the armor if you have transmuted it, so hold off on changing the appearance of it until you're absolutely comfortable with doing so. Thank you for watching. I hope this guide helped. Once I have the means to do so, I'll be making a video on how to acquire the Ascended quality versions of the armor, and try to make the guide as easy as concise as I hope this one is. Have a wonderful night.